Tonight, the world is in shock. A wave of disbelief and heartbreak has swept across millions after disturbing CCTV footage leaked from inside an intensive care unit ICU. The video shows a horrifying moment. No one could have imagined King Harris, already fighting for his life before a high-risk brain surgery, was violently attacked in his hospital room. The footage has gone viral, and people everywhere are asking the same chilling question. How could something like this happen in a supposedly secure medical facility? According to reports, a masked intruder connected to a dangerous gang managed to slip past hospital security and storm into the ICU. Strangely, most of the cameras inside the ward cut out right before the incident, leaving only one lens to capture the terrifying scene. That single camera recorded the intruder as he approached King's bed, tampered with the machines keeping him alive, and suddenly launched a brutal attack. The quiet, controlled environment of the ICU turned into chaos within seconds. Nurses screamed, alarms blared. Doctors rushed desperately to save King's life as panic overtook the entire ward. What was once a place of healing instantly became a nightmare. Outside the hospital, King's mother, Tiny, collapsed in tears, crying for her son's life. His father, T, enraged and broken, shouted that this was no accident but a deliberate attempt to silence his family. On social media, the response has been explosive. Millions of fans are demanding answers, and theories are spreading faster than ever. Some believe it was an industry conspiracy. Others say old enemies finally took revenge. And the darkest theory of all suggests betrayal from within the hospital itself. But one question remains louder than the rest. Will King Harris survive this attack? Or has the music industry's darkest plot gone too far? For years, King Harris has been seen as the fearless son of hip-hop royalty. Nobody ever expected his biggest battle to be inside a hospital. The leaked footage has not just shaken his fans, it has become one of the most disturbing scandals the music industry has ever faced. The video spreading across TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube shows a chilling scene. A masked man, dressed completely in black, slips into the ICU. His movements are calm, precise, almost military-like. He ignores everyone else in the room and heads straight for King's bed, as if he knew exactly where to go. When alarms begin to sound, the panic is overwhelming. Nurses scream for help. Machines flatline. One nurse even tries to block the attacker, but is shoved aside. King, strapped to monitors and unable to move, is completely defenseless. Watching the footage, millions felt their hearts sink. The son of T and Tiny, raised in the spotlight, was left exposed in the one place he should have been safe. Even more disturbing is the mystery surrounding the footage itself. Why did almost every camera cut out right before the attack, leaving only one to record? Who leaked the video? Was this random violence? Or was it planned with inside help? The internet is now filled with speculation. Some fans believe the attack was punishment for secrets King may have known about the industry. Others insist it was revenge aimed at T, who has collected many enemies over the years. And then there's the most unsettling theory of all, that someone inside the hospital helped make the attack possible. Could a staff member have been paid to disable the cameras? Was the intruder deliberately allowed inside? These questions have fueled anger and mistrust. Outside the hospital, protesters are demanding answers. People are asking why a high-profile patient like King Harris was not given full-time guards at his door. They want to know why security failed and why the hospital has remained so silent. The Harris family's pain has become a global tragedy. Tiny was seen outside the hospital crying uncontrollably, begging doctors to save her son. T.I.'s anger has been raw and visible. With tears in his eyes, he told reporters, "This wasn't no accident. Somebody wanted my son dead. Somebody planned this." Those words have only fueled suspicions of a setup. Fans around the world are rallying behind the family. Hashtags like #PrayForKing, #JusticeForKing, and #hospital setup are trending worldwide. But behind the headlines is real human suffering. Insiders say T hasn't left the hospital since the attack, barely eating or sleeping, pacing the hallways like a man consumed by guilt and rage. Tiny, shaken by repeated fainting spells, is now under medical supervision herself. What makes this even more heartbreaking is that King was already preparing for a dangerous brain surgery. Doctors had warned that the procedure carried high risks. After the attack, his condition worsened. At one point, his heart nearly stopped. Though doctors revived him, his brain activity is showing alarming instability. The attack not only delayed his surgery, but pushed him even closer to the edge. Inside the hospital, security has now been tightened. Armed guards stand outside King's room, and visitors are heavily screened. Still, the fear lingers. If it happened once, could it happen again? The attack is no longer just a family tragedy, it has become a global scandal. Investigations have revealed troubling details. Several security guards, who were supposed to be on duty, mysteriously left their posts minutes before the attack. Their explanations don't match the records. Some claim they were called elsewhere, but no such calls exist. Others say they were on breaks at the exact wrong moment, adding fuel to the fire. A second leak emerged, an audio recording from inside the ICU. In the shaky clip, you hear nurses screaming, alarms blaring, and a doctor shouting, "He's crashing. He's crashing," before chaos overtakes the room. Even more shocking, investigators have reportedly uncovered a large cash transfer tied to a hospital staff member. Could this be the proof that someone inside helped plan the attack? If true, the betrayal is almost unimaginable. Families go to hospitals for healing and protection, not to face corruption and violence. Around the world, fans are pouring out their emotions. Candlelight vigils have been held. Young fans post videos crying, saying King was their inspiration. Online, millions are praying for his recovery, while others demand justice and accountability. But not everyone is sympathetic. Critics argue that T.I.'s long list of enemies put his family at risk. Some even suggest the attack was the price of his past controversies. These harsh opinions only add to the Harris family's pain. Still, the majority of fans stand firmly with King. Petitions are circulating, demanding an independent investigation and tighter protections for high-profile patients. This tragedy has sparked a global conversation. Are celebrities ever truly safe? If the son of a rap legend can be attacked inside an ICU, a place meant to be the most secure and protected, then what does that say about the reach of enemies, the power of conspiracies, and the weakness of systems we rely on? For now, King Harris remains unconscious, his fate uncertain. Doctors are doing everything they can. His family is shattered, his fans are heartbroken, and the world waits, replaying the haunting footage over and over, each frame more disturbing than the last. The leaked ICU video has changed everything. This is no longer just about one boy's surgery. It has become a story of betrayal, trust, power, and the terrifying reality that sometimes even in the safest places you are never truly safe. As the investigation deepens and theories spread, one chilling question echoes around the world. Is this the end for King Harris? Or will he survive to tell the truth about what really happened inside that hospital room? Lawmakers in Atlanta are under pressure to open a full investigation into what went wrong with hospital security. The questions are no longer quiet whispers, they are loud demands from the public. Inside the intensive care unit, the reality is grim. Doctors have described King Harris's condition as fragile and unstable. His oxygen levels continue to fluctuate, swelling in his brain has increased, and the medical team cannot attempt surgery until his body is strong enough to survive it. Every hour feels like borrowed time, and for his family, those hours stretch into unbearable torture. For his fans, watching from a distance, it feels like heartbreak on repeat. This is no simple celebrity headline. It is a story of life and death unfolding in real time, broadcast across the internet. People everywhere are crying, screaming, and asking the same haunting question: who tried to end King Harris's life and why? The greatest fear is that the real answer might never come out. If powerful figures truly arranged this attack from behind the scenes, then the truth could easily be buried, silenced, and erased just as they may have wanted King himself erased. For now, The footage of the attack circulates endlessly online. Each replay strikes a deeper wound in the hearts of his supporters. Every share adds weight to the tragedy. The Harris family feels trapped inside a nightmare with no escape, while the rest of the world can only watch, pray, and wait to see whether King will ever recover enough to share his version of events. If he cannot, the security camera footage may remain the only testimony of his struggle. The aftermath of what happened in that ICU did not remain confined within the hospital. Instead, it exploded outward, sparking a national storm of fear, outrage, and suspicion. The blurry clips released were more than surveillance. They became the centerpiece of one of the most heated debates the entertainment world has ever seen. With each passing day, the weight of this tragedy crushed not only the Harris family, but also millions of people around the globe who feel connected to King. When news of the attack first spread, many thought it was nothing more than an isolated incident, perhaps a disturbed stranger, or an unplanned act of violence. But as investigators began pulling back the layers, what they uncovered shattered the illusion of safety. Reports leaked suggesting the attacker might not have been an outsider at all. Instead, rumors hinted at connections inside the hospital itself. Outside the hospital, Tiny was seen collapsing, sobbing uncontrollably, and crying out that they want to destroy my baby. Her words, captured by cameras, ripped through the silence and instantly went viral. Millions who saw the footage of her grief broke down in tears themselves. The pain of a mother mourning for her son resonated with people far beyond Atlanta, but the most chilling claims came from anonymous sources who insisted this attack wasn't just about King, it was a warning meant for his father, T. According to these whispers, someone wanted T silenced, and rather than go directly after him, they targeted the person closest to his heart, his son. Fans quickly connected this theory with old rivalries, lingering grudges, and enemies from T.I.'s past. Online spaces filled with speculation, names of old disputes resurfaced, and the internet buzzed with theories that deepened the mystery. Meanwhile, King's condition worsened. Doctors confirmed that the assault had caused further trauma to his body. While they managed to stabilize him briefly, every public update carried the same chilling phrase, critical condition. Around the world, fans responded by holding vigils, lighting candles, and flooding social media with hashtags such as #PrayForKing, #JusticeForKing Harris, and #ProtectTheHarrisFamily. But not everyone agreed this was just an act of violence. Some people believed it was part of a much larger scheme. Online theorists spread claims that industry insiders wanted King silenced before he could reveal damaging secrets. Viral videos on TikTok and YouTube gathered millions of views, claiming King knew about corruption in record labels, secret backroom deals, and even life-threatening practices within the music industry. Whether these claims were true or not, people clung to them, desperate for an explanation that could make sense of why a young man would be targeted so brutally. Then came the footage. Once the CCTV video hit the internet, the conversation turned darker. The intruder was seen not just moving equipment, but appearing to deliberately tamper with King's oxygen supply. He hovered near his face, adjusted the machine, and then fled when alarms began to sound. The images were blurry, but the intent seemed terrifyingly clear. Millions who watched the clip were horrified. How could anyone breach one of the most secure areas in a hospital to harm a patient lying helpless in bed? T.I.'s response was explosive. In front of cameras, standing outside the hospital, he declared, "This was an assassination attempt. Don't get it twisted. They tried to kill my boy." His words spread like wildfire. Some fans believed him completely, pointing fingers at industry rivals. Others accused him of fueling paranoia. Regardless, the attack was no longer just a family's private tragedy. It had grown into a scandal threatening to shake the entire entertainment industry. The confusion deepened as hospital staff leaked conflicting accounts. Some employees claimed they saw no intruder. Others admitted the cameras had mysteriously gone down minutes before the attack, except for the one that caught the suspect. These details fueled darker theories. Was the hospital itself covering something up? Were bribes exchanged? Was someone with power orchestrating the event from the shadows? Meanwhile, Tiny was too devastated to speak publicly. Photographs captured her fainting in T's arms, an image that tore through the internet. Fans wept openly, realizing that the woman who had always appeared strong for her family was now broken by grief. Not everyone showed sympathy. Trolls flooded social media with cruel remarks, suggesting T.I.'s past mistakes had come back to haunt him. These words only fueled his rage. He fired back with cryptic posts about snakes hiding in plain sight, leaving millions to speculate about who he was targeting. The darkest turn came when whispers suggested the intruder was not acting alone. Rumors swirled that multiple people had been involved in planning the attack, and some even hinted that betrayal might have come from someone close to the Harris family itself. For fans, the thought of an inside betrayal was almost too painful to process. As King remained in critical condition, clarity never came. Instead, the story grew heavier and more complex. Protesters gathered outside the hospital, demanding stronger protection for King. Candlelight vigils stretched down city blocks, with fans chanting his name into the night. Atlanta became both a place of mourning and a symbol of resistance. But one haunting question lingered, refusing to fade. Who wanted King Harris dead? Was it revenge for his father's past conflicts, a conspiracy to silence him before he could speak out? Or was it the result of someone closer, someone no one suspected? The attack was more than just violence against one young man. It became a spark that ignited a wider conversation about safety, betrayal, and the dangerous side of fame. Each day that passes without answers only makes the story darker. The one thing everyone agrees on is this: the world will never be the same after seeing what happened inside that ICU. The CCTV footage is now burned into the memory of millions. A son fighting for his life, a mother collapsing in grief, a father screaming for justice in a world that suddenly feels colder, darker, and more threatening than ever before. Who shut off the cameras? Who unlocked the doors? Who wanted King Harris silenced before he had the chance to heal? Was this random violence, or was it a calculated message meant to terrify? The truth may never fully come out, but one thing is certain: King Harris's fight for survival has become more than just a personal struggle. It has become a symbol, a battle carried on the shoulders of an entire generation that refuses to look away.